I came across this article on Reddit last week that talks about burnout in cybersecurity, and this is not the first time that I hear about burnout. In fact, I contemplated quitting my career in cybersecurity a few times because of stress and burnout. In this video, I will share with you how changing my mindset and perspective of things helped me survive my career in cybersecurity for almost 20 years. You can call me Unix guy. I've been a cybersecurity professional for almost 20 years. I never had a mentor and I made so many mistakes, including burning out in cybersecurity, which is why I decided to make these videos to help you avoid making the same mistakes that I made and to be the mentor that I never had. So looking at this article on the cybersecurity subreddit, this individual is 20 years old and works for a Fortune 500 organization. Let's just remember that it's so many people's dream to be in her position. It was certainly my dream to be a cybersecurity professional in a Fortune 500 company when I was 21 years old. Yet they are planning to quit because of stress and burnout, which is really alarming. If you're just starting your career at 21 years old, quitting due to burnout is a pretty serious and significant thing. They talk about how their IT team not knowing what they are doing. This I agree with. Most vulnerabilities are usually the result of decisions made by people in IT, like misconfiguring emails, servers, or applications. They also say that most companies fail the first two of the SANS top 20. For reference, the SANS top 20 are a list of the most critical security controls that a company can follow. I recommend that you look it up. And I also agree with this individual. In fact, the majority of companies have pretty poor security control. You'd be surprised how many companies have poor security measures in place, which is precisely why we keep hearing about companies getting hacked and compromised every day on the news. You can see this individual is very frustrated because the companies they worked for didn't have solid security. They expected the security team to fix everything, usually on a shoestring budget. This used to frustrate me to no end, so I can definitely sympathize with this. Then the individual talks about the CIO and the IT directors being clueless or incompetent, salespeople harassing them non-stop. Well, I can definitely relate to that. You get the idea. Well, to be completely honest, I can relate to almost all of these points, and these things definitely almost drove me to quit my career in cybersecurity because of frustration, burnout, and thinking that no matter what I do, security will never be good in these companies, and I used to take these things very personal. But the interesting thing that I observed throughout the years is I started to hear very similar complaints from individuals who work in completely different careers. Like I've got friends who are pharmacists, doctors, nurses, accountants, marketers. They all seem to have the same problem. I mean, my doctor friends, they used to complain about admin being incompetent. They also used to tell me how patients never listen to them when they recommend things for them that can potentially save their life. And I found myself drawing parallels to that with me recommending things to companies that can potentially save them significant financial loss. So you can see the similarities, and I start to notice that maybe this is not unique to cybersecurity and technology. I had very little idea about the rest of the world. I thought I knew what doctors and nurses and accountants do, but in reality, I didn't really know about the day-to-day stress and drama that happen in these careers. And I found many similarities with the stress in IT and cybersecurity and the stress in different careers. The other interesting thing that I observed is in every company that I worked with, in almost every team that I dealt with, there always seemed to be at least one or more individuals who are extremely talented. They really know what they're doing, and they seem to be so cool. They seem to be so calm and collected. Nothing could faze them, and that always fascinated me and made me think, how can they maintain their cool in spite of things being chaotic, in spite of us not knowing what the hell is going on, in spite of all the frustration, in spite of all the mistakes that end users seem to make over and over again. Some individuals seem to be always calm and collected. They seem to be completely unfazed, and those individuals, it's not like they don't care. They do, and they're really good at what they do, which made me take a step back and think maybe I was the problem. Maybe there was something I could do to change my attitude to overcome that stress that nearly made me change careers and quit altogether. And to be honest with you, no one teaches you how to be calm and collected under pressure. No one teaches you how not to take things personal. I mean, I wish they taught me these things in university. I wish that I had some mentor or someone I could talk to who could guide me. Every time I talk to my friends and I tell them I'm frustrated, their answer will be, oh yeah, we're also frustrated about our own careers. That's not really helpful. It's not helpful advice. I mean, I'm definitely grateful for them for listening to me whinging and complaining, but I think I need a little bit more help. Now, the truth is, as I took a step back and I started thinking about things and I started observing people who were successful, I started to learn a few things. And the first lesson I learned is that we don't live in Plato's Republic. The world is never going to be perfect. The perfect environment simply doesn't exist. The perfect job doesn't exist. The perfect colleagues don't exist. exist. The perfect weather doesn't exist. There will always be problems. There will always be day-to-day frustrations. There will always be someone who is stupid, who creates problems. There will always be someone who is just gossiping. There will always be teams who slow things down. This is called stress, and this is the reason why it's a job. This is why we get paid the big bucks, so we can overcome these problems, so we can solve these issues, and so we can tolerate them and try to move the needle in the right direction. As an IT professional and as a cybersecurity professional, even if you are a programmer, we tend to think of problems like puzzles. So it's a puzzle. You think, how can I solve this puzzle? All right, great. If I want to secure a company, they need to do these 5 things, and we get fixated on them. However, if it was easy, no one will pay you to do it. If businesses hire you, they know that the problems are a little bit more complicated than that. Businesses consist of people, processes, and people are not perfect. There will always be things that are slower than they should be. This is why you get paid. You may think the solution is easy, but it's easy because you know how to do it. If other teams knew how to do things, they will not pay you to do it. Think about it. So what I really learned is to try not to take things personally. I also learned to have things going on for me outside work. This is one thing I observed about all successful people. They seem to have families or hobbies or things they are passionate about that are not work related. Some of them play golf, some go to the gym, some do martial art, whatever it is. What I want you to do is when you go home, don't think about work. Think about something completely different. Live your life. This way it makes you less likely to take things so personal. It keeps your ego in check. It also generally turns you into a happier person and a more pleasant person to deal with. The other thing that really helped me is surprisingly smiling. I learned that when I go to work smiling, when people talk to me, when I smile, I feel better, they feel better, everyone else feel at ease. Not going to solve all your problem in one go, but just I noticed that it just diffuses situations. It makes it a lot easier for me to influence people. You don't come across as aggressive, because if someone tells you what's the solution to this problem and like go throw the solution at them, that may work, but with some people it can rub some people off the wrong way. So I really recommend having a calm and collected demeanor to yourself. Smile, don't take things too serious, and learn to play the long game. Nothing changes overnight. If cybersecurity was easy, anyone will do it. If cybersecurity was easy, we will not be paid the big bucks. And paradoxically, when I started enjoying my job, when I relaxed a little bit more, when I started smiling more, and when I became a more pleasant person, things started to move a lot quicker than what I thought. Like remembering when I was stressed out and angry, things were going a lot slower than when they are now. So there is a lesson to be learned there. This was a very, very crucial and important lesson that I learned during my career in cybersecurity, and I think you can take it and apply it to any career, not just cybersecurity. Positive mindset, positivity, and being a pleasant person to deal with. I talked a little bit more about it in this video, which I highly recommend that you watch.